Shine with Kendèll Lenice. Real talk for real people. Let's shine together.
Welcome to Shine with Kendèll Lenice. I am your host, transformational life coach, Kendèll Lenice. I'm also an author, a content creator, a speaker, a healing coach, a certified meditation practitioner, and a lover of people. I want to see you win, and that's what this podcast is about. It's a life podcast. You'll get some live life coaching, you'll get some amazing guests, and most importantly, you'll heal and laugh. It's all about education, elevation, and entertainment. I don't know how you stumbled upon this podcast, but I'm so glad you did. If you haven't already, please subscribe and rate if you can. We are available on all podcast outlets. Also, follow me on social media at Kendèll Lenice across the board. Now on to this week's show. Hey, howdy, hey. How are you doing? What's going on? I feel like Martin. What's up? There's a small group, or now, wait a minute, because it's on, all the time, that know what I'm talking about. Welcome to Shine with Kendèll Lenice. I'm so glad that you are here. I'm so glad that you decided to tune in once again. We are in its 8th season. Shine with Kendèll Lenice. Let's just pause for a moment for that. I am in season 8. And I say we because we're in this together. How you doing? I hope all is well. We are in November 2022, y'all. Where has the time gone? Remember, we were like, Happy New Year, the beginning of 2022. And now we're in November. Let me tell y'all, I had a trying 2022. And even within the trying times of this year, I have seen so many spots of joy and lessons and understandings and blessings. So even if you haven't had a great year, an awesome year, be thankful for the small and large blessings that God has given you. It's a gift. This life is a gift. Even if a day is not good, it's still a gift. It's up to you to recognize that. Okay. So, as always, we're going to start with this week's Life Note. All right, it's time for this week's Life Note. Today's Life Note is Life presents many choices. The choices we make determine our future. That's by Catherine Pulsifer. Don't know who she is? If you're just tuning in for the first time, I start with a life note. That is a quote, a saying from someone. Could be me, could be someone I've never heard before. But it's something, a quote that will carry us through the rest of the show. It's about, I don't know if I should save that or wait. Well, today's episode is called I Cut Out the Dragon. What do I mean, I cut out the dragon? What does that mean? I don't understand what that means. I know you're reading the title like, what is that about? But I'm going to take just a quick moment from our sponsor, Goli Gummy. You can use my code Kendèll Lenice for a discount, and then we're going to come right back. Hey guys, I want to talk to you about Goli Nutrition. Now, I'm not going to come to you if I don't believe in something. Are you someone that doesn't like to take pills, but you care about your health? Are you someone that doesn't like the taste of apple cider vinegar, even though your mom and grandmom said there are so many health benefits to them? Well, I have good news for you. You need to try the world's first apple cider vinegar gummy. It's a source of powerful vitamins and nutrients. It's made with vitamin B9 and B12 to help support healthy immune systems, healthy nervous systems, heart health, and so on and so on and so on. Also, Goli Nutrition has ashwagandha gummies that helps you calm down, relax, relate, release. It reduces stress and it promotes quality of sleep, as well as Super Fruits Beauty Gummies. Now, who doesn't want that? It has a fantastic fruity taste, and it also promotes collagen formation, restores radiance, and supports overall wellness. Y'all know I'm here for that. Also, Super Green Gummies. They're green and they're made from greens and they taste yummy. They also support digestive health, healthy liver function, a healthy immune system, and nervous system. Y'all need to go on over to GoalyGummy.com. GoalyGummy.com. Better yet, Goalie.com to make it simple for you. Also, if you use the code Kendèll Lenice, you will get a discount on all your purchase for that day. And guess what? You can continue to use my discount code Kendèll Lenice to get everything you need for great health. Y'all know I'm about great health. If you want to be here, take care of yourself and go on over to health.goalie.com. If you can't figure that out or remember that, Google Goalie Gummy and get yours today by using the code Kendèll Lenice. All right, go get your Goalie Gummies, especially if you have trouble sleeping and you have anxiety and you can't calm down. That ashwagandha gummy, do your research, see where ashwagandha comes from, and get your Goalie Gummy. They help. All right. So many don't know I'm a life coach of 20-something years, but I also am an educator, and I work with elementary school students during the day, and then I coach and do speaking engagements in the evenings. So I work with adults in the evenings and the weekends. And I was in an art class, right? And the assignment was to color these dragons. And do the assignment with the dragon. So this was like, I believe, first grade. So they were doing the dragons, and everyone had their way of coloring. So the first thing that I thought about was, why do people teach children to stay within the guidelines and to stay within the lines? Think about it. When you were growing up and someone gave you a piece of paper to color, or you had a coloring book or a drawing with the outline, color, but make sure you stay in the lines. And that teaches children that perfection is the way to go. Don't color outside of the lines. Don't think differently. I want you to stay within the parameter that I told you. Stay within these lines, because if you stay within the lines, then it's perfect. It's beautiful. It's better than those who color outside of the lines. Well, I want to tell adults to color outside the lines. You don't have to listen to anyone's instruction on how you live your life and how you decide to handle things in life. It makes you you. If you're artistic, if your creativity is on another level, or you're just striving to stay in the lines and stay inside that box, and you're not going to jump out of the box, color outside the lines, you're going to stay right in your parameter, then I have a question for you. Are you living your best life? Better question. Are you living the life that you want? Or are you living the life that someone else instructed you to have? Think about that for a moment. Okay, so back to the little boy. So a little boy colored his dragon and thought it was a good idea to cut it out. So he asked me if he can cut it out. And I said, if that's what you want to do, sure, cut it out. He saw someone else cut it out. Someone else's just looked lovely. It was perfection when they cut it out. Well, this little boy tried to cut his out, and that didn't go so well. What he thought was a great decision in his mind didn't turn out so. So he came to me crying and showing me that he cut out the wrong thing. He then asked for a do-over for another paper. As an adult, I understood. Who don't want a do-over, right? We all need a do-over from a decision we thought was a good idea in our head. But once we executed that idea, it didn't age so well. So, unlike life sometimes, I gave him another dragon. So now he learned from the first dragon to maybe I'm not going to cut out this, or maybe I'm going to watch the lines that I did, or maybe I'm going to cut it out differently. So he got a better opportunity to look at the page first, to analyze and say, okay, so I can color this again. Now I can use different colors, bolder colors, brighter colors. And now I'm going to strategically cut out this dragon so I can be proud of the decision that I made. And next time I'm not going to want to do over because this is how I want it. Now, some people might have looked at it and said, you get what you get. Ain't no do-overs in here. This is what you did. You decided to do that and stick with the broken dragon, the ripped dragon, the not so aesthetically pleasing dragon, and just take that home, put in your book bag, and go on about your business. But as an adult and as a life coach, I see things differently. At that age, if he wanted to be able to get a do-over, I wanted to honor that and give that to him. Because sometimes in life, you're not going to have a do-over. And you might say, well, Kendèll, you should have taught him that lesson now so he knows. No, this is about shaping our children. This is about shaping who we are so they don't grow up to be adults who pout, stomp their feet, do things that they don't want to do, lash out, act a fool because they can't have a do-over. So I thought in my head, you know what? He'll learn to strategize. He'll learn to think about it before he does it. He'll learn to weigh his options and say, hey, is this a good idea or is it not? And I think that that's a lesson in itself. So when he asked, can he have another one? I looked at it as a do-over because as adults, I understand clearly when we make choices and decisions that sometimes it's the choice and decision. And we all need a do-over with a decision or thought that was good in our head. But sometimes, oftentimes, most of the time, we're not able to get a do-over. So as adults, sometimes we have to learn the hard way by like, oop, I bumped my head. I got stuck on stupid. I made that decision. I made that choice to move there. I made that choice to get married to this or that person. I made this choice to pick this school. I made this choice to start this career venture. I made this choice to befriend this person. I made this choice to cut my hair, color my hair, whatever. I made this choice to whatever. And sometimes you have to suffer the consequences of the decisions and choices that you make. And you're unable to get a do-over. You just got to let that hair grow out, let that color grow out, get a divorce. You got to change friendship groups. You have to maybe pick a new career, go to a different school, whatever the choice. You have to sometimes allow time to sit in there for a minute before you're able to get a quote unquote do-over or make another choice and decision. But unfortunately, some choices and decisions that we make, you just got to suck it up and be able to find the lesson in that. And sometimes it ends up being the blessing that you need and not even know it. But if I can assist a child in understanding that and having the conversation, okay, now this is the last dragon you're going to get. So you can decide if you want to cut it out, if you want to color it, if you just want to take it home, and if you're determined or, afraid to even touch this dragon. Well, with children, they haven't seen as much or experienced as much, especially at 6 years old, 7 years old. So they're just ready to dive right in. I messed this one up. I cried about it. Now I got a new one. I'm going to throw that one in the trash, and now I'm going to get to it. Whereas if more time was sitting still. As an adult, you looking at that dragon for about 10 minutes like, do I even want to touch this dragon, let alone cut it out and color it? And because now you have this precious do-over, you just hold on to it like, you know what, maybe I won't even cut this thing out. Maybe I will just leave this just like it is. Hey, black and white ain't so bad, even though I'm looking at someone else's table and looking at someone else's colors and they've cut it out and it looks so dope. I'm going to try to do what they did, but you can't do what other people did. You can't do what other people do. You have to make that decision and choice for you, knowing that I'm not going to get another chance. I may not get another chance. This might be the last dragon I get. So what would be the best decision that I need to make right now so I can be pleased with the outcome? Can I say amen? Yes. So I just want to read something from success.com. They had an article that said, what do you do when you make a bad decision? Now, I want to preface this by saying bad is relative, because if you can find the lesson in everything, then you can understand what's really, going on possibly, and be able to make a better choice or decision. So we're just going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back to what do you do when you make a bad decision. Let's get it. Thank you for shining with me, Kendèll Lenice. If you're here for the very first time, thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe to the show, and don't forget to tell your friends and family about Shine. We'll be right back. All right. Make sure you let somebody know about this podcast. This is produced by me, curated by me, ran by me. It's a one-woman band. Me and God be trying to hold it down. And like I said, this is the 8th season. So if you know anybody that may be interested in live life coaching and being better, wiser, more fulfilled, educated, elevated, and entertained, tell them to come on over to Shine with Kendèll Lenice. I am on Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Amazon Audible, all of that good stuff. To God be the glory. All right. So what do you do when you make a bad decision? So let's read this article. And if you're just tuning in for the first time, I'm going to definitely give my input as well, obviously. All right. So number 1, it says, if you make a bad choice or decision, then accept your emotions. And as a life coach, that's huge. Feel what you feel and sit in that emotion. So this article says suppressing your emotions will get you nowhere. It's important to first focus on how you feel. Absolutely. The first step, it says, is to recognize what happened and how you feel. Psychologist Dr. Sal Raybach says, PhD or physical psychologist, ignoring or pretending leaves the pain open. If you cut yourself, you wouldn't pretend it didn't happen. You would seek help. So that's the first step, is to really accept the emotion. You know what? I'm mad that I cut my dragon not the way that I wanted. I'm sad about it because everybody else's looks good, or I'm angry at myself because I cut this darn dragon out the wrong way. Whatever that feeling is, accept that emotion. Number 2, focus on the cold, hard facts. Once you've recognized and accepted the emotions, you have following a poor decision. Dr. Benjamin Ritter, EDD, founder of LFY Consulting, says one of the best things you can do is focus on the facts. Take a step out of emotions and stress to really look at the facts of the situation, he says. Ask yourself, what is currently happening? What do you really want? How can you work productively towards the goal given in the situation you're in? So basically, have a conversation with yourself. What are the facts? Okay, now it's either 2 things. I can throw this dragon away because I'm not pleased with it, or I can get another one and cherish the opportunity that I have and try to do the best that I can do. But the hard facts is I messed up. I don't like it. I can't possibly change this choice. Now what? Number 3 is don't let the bad decision consume you. Y'all know how people make a bad decision and they keep playing it, replaying it, remixing it over and over and over in their head. Let's see what the article says. Once we've made what we call a bad decision, we give it a lot of meaning, and it does not inherently have. We tell ourselves we're stupid, we can't trust ourselves, this is going to ruin our life, business, relationship, etc. Now, none of this is true, of course, but Gutner, the author of this, says it can be very difficult to move forward with our lives if we're stuck in the mindset. I agree 100%. Don't allow the bad decision, choice, or whatever you're doing at the moment consume you, where you can't think about getting out of that hole, getting out of that box, making a different decision and a choice to say, you know what, that was that, and now I'm on to make better decisions. And I will go further to just say, think about a time where you made a great choice or decision and it turned out well, so you can still trust yourself again. But hey, we all got to take an L sometimes and be like, I know I made choices and decisions like, what the hell? What? Kendèll, you knew that A, B, and C was going to happen and you didn't listen to your first mind. How many people have done that where you don't listen to your first mind? Your first mind, your discernment, your instinct, gut, the instinctive, that gut feeling. With your instincts, that gut feeling where you'd be like, I shouldn't. But then you'd be like, okay, I'm going to just go on and do it. And then, you cut the dragon out wrong, and then you throwing it in the trash, and then you're trying to figure out, do I get another one? No, I'm just going to pause on the dragons for right now. Think about that. Somebody made a choice right now. They're like, maybe I should have just left that dragon alone. Woo, child. Number 4, forgive yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself in the wake of a poor decision. Use the failure of your bad decision as leverage for future success. Love that. Mistakes are essential for success, Metzger says. You will make them, but what determines your future success is how you respond. Can we get an amen? Forgive yourself, number 1. And then A is to not think about the bad decision as a bad decision. It's about leverage for your success. And then B of that, I'm just going to add, whatever bad decision you made then, it makes you uberly aware of the decisions that you make. And if you're able to finesse that decision into something greater, that will help your future success and your decision making skills. And I was joking before, but always really go with your first mind and that gut feeling. The gut is a direct connection to your brain, health-wise. Look it up. Your gut and your brain are connected. All right, number 5, accept your regret. After making a bad judgment call, your mind will likely be flooded with regret. This regret, it turns out, can actually be a powerful tool, Ritter says. Regret can help you remember the things you want to avoid in life and actually help you make better decisions. So true. So, don't be flooded with the regret, y'all. Turn the regret into something powerful. Like, you know what? I'm not going to regret that, because if I did not make that decision, that would make me the woman or man that I am today. So even though that decision I thought was bad 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 6 months ago, it turned out to be the best for me because it got me here. It taught me valuable lessons that I wouldn't maybe have gotten if I hadn't made that. So don't regret anything. Even though you make a bad judgment call, you might beat yourself up. You might be like, oh, why did I do that? But you cannot stay there. Accept the regret and turn it, flip it, finesse it into something that's even better. Get the lesson, people. All right. Number 6, if you regret is all consuming, try practicing gratitude. Now, if your regret is all consuming, try practicing gratitude. Should I explain? Should I go further? We all have regrets, right? But if you stay in the moment, it was just what I was talking about, just the last one. If you're practicing gratitude and you're seeing the positive that from whatever that choice, bad decision, regretful act, whatever it was, if you see the positive in it and you practice gratitude, then this will help lessen the grip that regret has on you. So the article says, each morning make a list of 3 to 5 things you're grateful for. I agree. And I'm going to even go further. Years ago, I had gotten this gratitude journal off Amazon, and they have them everywhere. And then each day you just write what you're grateful for. So if you're actively focusing on that, it's going to lessen what you're thinking about, what you did wrong and what you didn't do right and what's wrong in your life. You're going to think about ways to be grateful and show gratitude. Number 7, create a decision-making process for the future. Love this. Excuse me. The next time you're confronted with a big decision, you might feel anxious or stressed that you'll make another mistake. Now, that's what I'm saying. So as the child had the dragon, he went right to it. He wasn't aware enough at 6 or 7 to say, let me stare at this dragon for a minute. Let me make sure I don't make no mistakes. Let me stay in the lines. Let me cut this the right way. Let me make sure I'm going to be pleased with the outcome. He didn't have that wherewithal, but adults, you have that. So when you get the second chance for another dragon, you looking at that thing up, down, sideways, turning it around, standing back, put your hand on your hip, looking from a distance, crossing your arms. You like, now I have a second chance at this dragon. Let me cut from a 6-degree angle down from the right and let me come across the paper. You really are now philosophizing this whole little dragon, because they done told you ain't going to get another choice. You ain't going to get another dragon. Let me make sure I get this dragon the way it's supposed to be. But as adults, as children, you're just going to dive right in. But adults, you're really going to process that decision making a little different. So the article says the next time you're confronted with a big decision, you might feel anxious or stressed that you'll make another one. So it's recommending that you have a 7-step decision making process. It works like this, the article says. Identify the decision problem. Be as clear as possible. So identify the decision or problem. Number 2, collect information that will assist in your decision-making skills. Number 3, consider various solutions. Number 4, weigh the evidence for each potential solution. Number 5, make your decision. Number 6, take action on that decision. Number 7, review the decision once action has been taken. All right, so that's number 1. Identify what is the problem. The problem is I don't like this dragon. And if I could get another one, I'll get a do-over. But I cut outside the lines, and now this dragon don't even look like a dragon no more. That's identifying the problem. Number 2, collect information that will assist in your decision making. Okay, let me go on to the other person's table whose dragon that I like, and they cut it out good. Let me see what techniques they did. I'm collecting the information. Let me see if she had the same scissors as I have, because now I'm collecting that information. Number 3, consider various solutions. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so do I have to cut this out because I wasn't instructed to cut it out? Do I have to cut it out? Or is it better if I just color it and maybe I can hang it up that way, put it in a frame? Let me weigh that. Weighing the evidence for each potential solution. So the last one was consider various solutions. Now this is weigh evidence for each potential solution. And that goes into that same considering. How do I want to do this? Now, if I cut it again, and she already said she's not going to give me another one. So am I going to be okay if I cut this and this is not wrong? Let me weigh. Make this decision. 5. Okay, doggone it. I'm going to cut this dragon. However it comes out is however it comes out. But I'm making that decision to cut this dragon. Number 6, take action on that decision. Be happy with your decision about cutting it. Cut, hum, sing along, sing a song as you're cutting this. Number 7, review the decision once action has been taken. Take a look back. You know what? I did the darn thing with this dragon. I am pleased with the colors. I am pleased with the cut. This is all about cutting the dragon and being okay with the decisions that you make. So I ask you, are you okay with the decisions that you make? If not, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit and cry if you can't get another dragon? Or are you going to take that on the chin and say, you know what? I don't like this dragon. I'm not going to get another one. But I tell you what, if in chance in life, if I ever get another dragon, I'm going to make sure I make the choices, because we know that life doesn't have an undo button. We understand that some choices are permanent choices and decisions. But one thing, if you dwell on the mistakes, you're not going to be able to overcome, to be able to make better choices or decisions. You're going to always second guess yourself. And that's not a way to live life. You want to go through life understanding that you are going to make not so good choices. I have a new book coming out December 9th, and I have a chapter talking about choices and decisions and how to heal from some of those that you make. So definitely get that book. You can go to KendèllLenice.com to get more information. But my book is Excuse Me, Your Unhealed is showing. So make sure, and pre-order is available now. So go to KendèllLenice.com. But that's what you have to be able to understand. Like, you know what? I'm going to make a not so good choice. That's just life. But you can't be afraid of yourself and not trust yourself because you are afraid. And you have to be able to forgive and heal from the past choices and decisions you make, so you can go on to make better choices and decisions and learn from the ones that were not so good. It may be late for some of them, and you're not going to be able to, redo them, but it's okay. You can take whatever you learn there and to be able to go on to make better choices and decisions. Just acknowledge the errors, acknowledge to yourself, you know what, I messed up on that one. I got to take that one on the chin and just learn. That's really what it's about. That's what this podcast is about. This is a life podcast. And as a life coach, I want to give you tips and tools, because ultimately it's about living your best life. And you got to have a healed life. You got to be able to grow through life and not just go through it, and understand that making mistakes is a part of life. Sometimes you got to, express that. You got to grieve that. You got to learn that, and you got to heal that. So, what is the takeaway from this episode? This week's wow moment. Takeaways from today's show. All right. What's your takeaway? Definitely put them in the comments. Email me at KendèllLenice@gmail.com. If you're able to put it in wherever you're listening to the podcast, do so. But my takeaway from this show is win some, lose some. You can't win them all the time. And if you're honored enough to get that dragon, before you make a decision, stare at that dragon and try to think of the outcome as you're looking at that decision. And then know, if you make that decision and it doesn't come out the way you wanted, at least you tried, and at least you went in knowing that it is a possibility that this dragon won't look like how I want it to look. And as long as you're okay with that, that's all that matters. But have a conversation with yourself. That's my takeaway from this episode. Everybody, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast. If you have any questions or concerns, hit me up at KendèllLenice@gmail.com. Also, KendèllLenice.com. This is cutting out the dragon. Can I undo the choices that I make? Maybe not, but I can grow and learn from those mistakes. Thanks so much for listening. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at Kendèll Lenice. And also go on over to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Again, thank you so much for your support. God bless y'all. Peace. Be good to someone. Don't allow anyone to dim your shine. Until next time, God bless. Thanks for listening. This has been a Kenny Lynn production.
Shine with Kendèll Lenice. Real talk for real people. Let's shine together.